Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today on Outside with Jeff. We're getting ready to do a June 1st, 2022 garden tour. Let's get into it. Start here with our nice green heads of cabbage. They are doing wonderful. They're heading up really nicely. Been watering them about every other day and they're really coming along nicely. Garlic's still looking good. It's not quite ready to harvest, but it'll be there here in another month or so. Potatoes looking really good. Once again, they're not quite ready to harvest. Did add some dirt to one section. I dug a big hole in the yard. I need a place to find the dirt, so I put a little bit of dirt there. Oh, there was a skink just ran across. I hope you got to see it. Onions over here, Alicia Craig onions. They're doing really nice. We got a little bunny rabbit. See him right down there. He's one of 3 that are currently living in our yard. He probably thinks I can't see him right now, but little does he know I can. Tomato plants are doing good. Most of them are blooming. I would say 3/4 of the plants have blooms on them, and a couple of them have little tiny green tomatoes. Mainly the cherry tomato varieties. Down here on the ends, they've got a couple little bitty green tomatoes. Peppers are doing good. They're growing nicely. Got a couple bell peppers already starting to grow. There we go. There's a nice green bell pepper. We have about 3 bell peppers that are already starting to form. The rest of them have little white flowers on them. So won't be long. We'll be picking a couple bell peppers here and there. We've got the sweet potatoes and the raised bed tires. Just planted those yesterday and made a video on that. They're doing good. There's a volunteer zucchini plant, some type of squash. I'm thinking it's zucchini, we'll see. Blueberry bushes are doing nicely. Got the watermelon plants. They're still doing nicely. Starting to grow up, getting bigger. Okay, take that pan out of the oven. I'll be right in there. Some dinosaur kale, some carrots that I left in the garden from last year. I'll let them go to seed and I'm gonna harvest the seed. Red Russian kale's doing great. Mesclun mix is doing great. I ripped this out. It was a different kind of kale that I hadn't grown before and it was starting to get bitter. So I ripped that out and I'm gonna plant baby spinach in its spot. If the baby spinach doesn't take, I'm gonna plant more Swiss chard because we really do enjoy the Swiss chard quite a bit. Here's rainbow Swiss chard. It's absolutely delicious. More garlic. Garlic should be ready here in another 2 or 3 weeks. Onion bed is still doing fantastic. These have fallen over because something fell on them, not because they were actually ready. So I'm hoping they stand back up. If not, we'll be harvesting this first foot a little earlier than normal. The rest of these, as you can tell, they're pretty well standing straight up. There might be a couple here and there that have fallen over, but the majority of them are standing up. Here's some more watermelon plants from this side. Still doing wonderful. Some blueberry plants. They're doing great. I made a video when I planted those about a month ago. They're doing great. Blackberry plants are loaded. Not getting much color change. Starting to try to get a little bit of pink on some of them, but it's still early. It's going to be a few more weeks until we're picking those. Got the mulberry tree, which I just discovered in a couple videos ago, and they are starting to ripen. Let's see here. There's one right there. I'm gonna eat that. Nice and sweet. That's all that's left. That's good. Corn's doing good. You'll see that dark stuff in the middle of the rows. I just side dressed with some composted manure. This was a 87-day maturity corn. I planted it about 15 days ago, and what I've done is to fill in the skips, I've ordered a 63-day maturity corn. That's going to be here Friday, and I'm gonna fill in the skips. And also I went ahead and tilled up an additional row. I'm gonna plant an additional row and fill in the skips with the it's called Temptress. It was a 63-day corn. I believe it was Temptress I went with. I'll confirm that when I plant. I'll make a video on filling in the skips. Green beans are doing good. Most of the yellowings went away. I made a video on when your green beans turn yellow, it's usually a nitrogen deficiency. So I gave them some Miracle-Gro, and a lot of that yellow, all these plants had yellow before. Now there's just a couple plants with a little bit of yellow. As you can see, they're starting to send out the tendrils. It'll just be a matter of a couple weeks. We'll be picking fresh green beans. Can't wait for that. Cucumber plant, a couple of cucumber plants that aren't doing too hot. Got some zinnias intermixed there, another cucumber plant. Some squashes. Got about 8 squashes here in a row. Between yellow squash, zucchini squash, When we get down here, we have the winter squashes. I planted some butternut squash and a few other things. So we'll see. And then we get on down a little further. Here's the okra. This was Clemson spineless. Had some slugs come in and kill a few of the plants. So the areas that there's no plants, I went ahead and replanted some skips. But I've still got about 18 plants. They're looking really good in here. I had about 24. And I have another spot where we have okra. So we'll still have plenty of okra. Potato plants are doing great. I transplanted my mint. So it's doing good. I just did that about 4 days ago. It definitely, the heat of the day beats it up a little bit. I keep it well watered though. There's our Montemorsi cherry plant that I planted. Got another one of those over here. Montemorsi cherry plant. Here's some buckets I have collecting rainwater. It's collecting water from our AC unit. A couple tomato plants there and a rosemary. This is going to be an upcoming video. The mint was here. This is going to be a rainwater collection video. I'm currently making the video and doing that project, but up and coming soon you'll see how to make a 800-gallon rainwater collection video for about 300 bucks. So it's really exciting. We've got basil, cilantro, parsley, zinnias, some type of lily, and then I forget what those are called, but it's a little plant my wife wanted to have. So we got them. Now we'll mosey on over here. Garden tour is just about finished. We have our snow peas. I thought these were gonna die off a couple weeks ago, but they're still going strong. They're still looking good. We picked some today. My kids picked them. There's still quite a few more on here that can be picked. Probably pick those tomorrow though. Turnips, that was leftover seed from a cover crop last year. They just went ahead and grew, so I let them do their thing. And then right in here, I just planted some more burgundy okra, red burgundy okra. It'll be coming up here in a few days. I just planted that 3 days ago. Here I've got some zinnias planted as well as red burgundy okra. So my goal is to have about 40 okra plants in total. Shouldn't be a problem reaching that goal. I've got about 55 planted in total, so I could afford to lose some more and I'd still hit my goal of 40 plants. So, well, that concludes today's garden tour. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's inspired you to possibly grow some different things in your garden. And maybe you've seen something that you're more interested in. Chances are I have a video on my channel. I do try to make a video on almost everything I do in the garden. Some things might not make it to the video, but I do feel like 95% of what's going on in my garden, there's a video of it on my channel. So if any of this interests you, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and look through my past videos. Have a great day.